New Year. So we are so delighted. Elkom TV, we are here live in Masindi, the heart of Masindi, in Masindi town, in Masindi municipality. We welcome you all, and we believe that the Lord has kept you well ever since we met. My guest, she's called Prudence Lukaya.
Prudence Lukoye.
Lukoye, yes. Omwana we Mbale.
Yes, all the way from Mbale.
We muli.
Actually, not Mbale, all the way from Namisindwa district, through Manafa, to Mbale, and now to Masindi.
So, we don't go there. So you have heard. So today we are in a program called What Law. We teach, we impart, and also we educate our viewers wherever you are, in Uganda, in diaspora, and we believe that whatever we are going to teach you or to share with you is going to be vital for your life and for your transactions. Today we are going to be talking about a certain principle in law that pertains land, and that principle is called easement.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about what easement is. We shall also be talking about the types of easements we have, the purposes of the easement, and also how an easement can be created. So our viewers out there, please be prepared so that as we talk about easements on land, you also be able to know how you can create one. Sometimes people have land and end up fighting each other.
True.
But when you look back or when you go on locus, you find probably the owner of the land is being deprived of his right, and people don't know how to approach and create an access.
Or they sell to you land. You want me to fly into my land. You understand?
I do, yes.
So when we talk about easements, this is the area that covers such issues. Issues of, okay, now I have bought my land. How am I accessing it? I have now bought my land. Or maybe I want to access a nearby hospital, you see. But then the road to the hospital is around 1,000 miles, you understand? And yet there would be a shortcut through your land, which is maybe just 1 kilometer or just, 10 miles to the facility that I need.
I get you.
Yeah.
Maybe before we go ahead, now the topic is so interesting. It seemed to be like a new thing to be talked about, whereas these are the daily facts that are affecting our people.
Sure.
Could you kindly help our viewers to understand what an easement is?
Okay, simply to put it, because I don't want to speak our language. Yeah, for those that speak our language, the legalists understand it. So we are talking about the watered English. The English, anybody else can understand. Not Semakade. No, the English of, of Mzee Seremos. Yes, where you're going to tell Mzee Seremos, you see Mzee, an easement is this, and it's like, what do you mean easement? And then you have to break it down.
Someone may tell you an easement is it going outside and ease yourself?
They may even think an easement is something to eat.
A refreshment.
Very good. You see, if you don't know the language, you don't joke with terms. You don't joke with terms. So what I want to say is an easement is simply a right. Yeah, it is simply an interest in land. For instance, Council Emma owns land, and then there is this other Mzee Seremos, like we have been talking about, who wants to access a place of convenience, maybe a facility, and there is no way they can access this facility.
Maybe
you understand? But there is a shortcut. In simple terms, we can say an easement is a shortcut. That is one thing. In another way, you can say an easement is is an easement. Just like you see it. It is easing your way to something. Or it is easing your way to somewhere. What do I mean? You want to access a place, but it is in through someone else's land,
Yes.
in the land that you are not owning. So it is upon the landowner now to give you permission. And that is why when we talk about an easement, there must be two parties.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we must have the dominant, who is now the landowner, who has to give you permission to use the land.
Oh, yes.
And then we will have the servant.
Oh, yes.
The servant, meaning you are being served. You are, I don't want to call you a servant. No, you are not a servant, but you are a servant, someone that is benefiting from the land.
Right.
Very good.
Oh, yes.
You're benefiting from the land that someone else is owning. I don't know if you
maybe
understand.
If we can break it down a little. Could I be right if, for example, if I bring it in an example? Let me say we are neighbors. And being neighbors, my children, we have a perimeter wall, and my children are playing. And the ball happens to fall onto another part of which it belongs to you. So, and there's no way my children will access the ball without getting a permission to enter into your gate to get back their ball. So the process of getting an access is what we shall term as an easement.
Very good. So that means you are actually easing their life, just like I told you in my definition that you can call an easement just an easement, the way the word sounds, that you are easing life for this boy whose ball has been thrown over to the other side to access their ball through your land.
Oh, yes.
Because they cannot fly over
to the another.
Very
now,
good.
I think this one in a simple technical way is to me it looks like an alibi to avoid criminal trespass.
Not
why
really.
I'm saying so is because if it happened that you entered through the land of somebody or forcefully and create your own access without permission, that would be either in criminal or civil, to be a trespass, a tort, right? Now, you getting a permission to access a way or to access yourself through somebody's perimeter of land is what we are calling an easement, which is now literally is avoiding, is curing the offense that you would have committed, but now you have done it in a rightful way of asking permission.
Yes, it is actually a permission, just like you have stated it. And just like in my statement as a starting, I told you we can call it a shortcut. Why I am calling it a shortcut is because you're avoiding very many things that would have come along the action that you are taking without permission.
Yeah, before we go, we will skip to another thing. I want you to help me tell my viewers outside there the importance of an easement in law.
The importance, there are actually very many. There are very many, very, very many. But of course, it stems from an individual. It will go to organizations.
Oh, yes.
It will go to, let's say, governmental organizations. It may also include institutions.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I told you, the main importance of an easement is to grant you permission to use someone's land without being held on the wrong side of the law. That is why we said that there must be two people involved in the creation of an easement. Yeah. So first of all, it helps in accessibility. Yeah. When you have an easement, you have access. Yeah, you are granted access to where you want to go. You understand? Through another person's land. Secondly, it also has an economic value, by the way. An easement has an economic value. Take an example. Let's say Uganda National Roads Authority wants to access a particular land that is maybe next to me, but it is the only place they can go through is through my land. You understand?
Yes.
So these people are just not going to use my land just like that. You understand? There is what we call compensation.
Oh, yes.
They will have to take the value and say, okay, we have taken Prudence's land that is worth this amount. And I think for, for peaceful purposes and whatever it is, not to deprive them of their land and not for us to, to lack an option, I think we'll have to compensate them. So they will have to give me money.
Now, that brings me back to a question. Is it a constitutional right?
It is a right. It is a right. It is a right. That is why when we are talking about easements, there are actually 3 types of easements.
Oh, yes?
Yes. And so the first one is an express easement. Easement. An express one means you and I are agreeing to get to have this easement created because you don't want to pull ropes with me. You understand? Or I don't want to pull ropes with you. That is why I am going to come to you and tell you, you see, Brian, I think I need some assistance. You understand? And with this assistance, you and I have to agree with each other such that maybe you give me part of your land. Either, of course, there would be conditions. It could be conditional, monetary terms, or without necessarily paying some monetary value. So
Or it could be maybe a barter trade.
Whatever it could be.
You are allowed to access this part, and
yes.
then I give you another piece of land.
Yes. Now that is how you're going to create this easement. You're going to come up with a document and say, okay, I have talked to Brian, who is my neighbor, and we have agreed that this is how I will be accessing my land. Oh. So you create an easement, which will be called an express easement. Reason being, you have agreed. You have agreed with Emma, and you have seen the necessity of creating this easement. Yes.
So do you mean to say, in your own statement, that is it express?
Yeah, express.
Express easement. Can after you people maybe pass on?
Well, when we are talking about easements, I don't think we are talking about parties in particular. I don't think we are talking about parties in particular because we have examples of things like the implied, like the implied one, like I was telling you about, like whoever takes on the responsibility of that land would benefit from this. From this provision. So if you have told me, okay, Prudence, I have allowed you to pass through my land, you cannot say, I am allowing only Prudence to pass through the land, and I cannot allow her children or her husband to go through this land.
Oh, yes.
You understand? So all these things are entailed in that agreement, in that document that you people are going to,
so
to
meaning that even
write.
After you die, whoever comes after you, so long as in their lineage,
yes,
you can still use the
yes,
the
whether
right.
they are in the lineage or they are not. I'll give you an example of accessing.
Okay, dear viewers, this is What Law. We're discussing a topic called easement on land. We're going to go for a short commercial break. Our bosses to make some money. We shall be shortly back. Thank you. called What Law here at Elkem TV in the heart of Masindi.
Yeah.
Our topic today is easements on land. Dear viewers, we want you people to understand the issues pertaining easement. How do you get an access into somebody's land? We have already gone through the definitions of what an easement is and their importances. Now we want to go into an issue and into an area where how someone can create an easement. But before we start, I want to remind our viewers, please, you can send in your questions and we shall be able to take them on and answer them to your satisfaction. Back to our sister Prudence, Council Prudence.
Yes.
She works with Lubega and Babu and Company Advocates here in Masindi.
Yeah.
Sorry for the legal aid clinic thing. Now she's independent. She's working at a law firm. Madam Council Prudence.
It is not about independence. We are just reminding them that actually, whereas formerly,
yes,
legal aid was legal Induka building in town.
Oh, okay.
That is Lubega and Babu Company Advocates.
All right.
Yes.
So now, Madam Prudence, we want our people to understand.
Yeah.
How is an easement created? Yes.
Just like I told you before, when we are talking about an easement, we are talking about having two people, meaning we have the dominant and then the servient,
yes.
the person who is going to benefit from the easement, isn't it? So that means that we will have an agreement. Yes, these two people are going to agree. And they should all have land, actually. They should all have land. You cannot start saying, you see now, or even if there is no land, but there must be an interest that you are entitled to benefit from.
So in other words, the first step is you initiate a negotiation with the owner of the land.
Very good. You initiate a negotiation with the owner of the land and you agree that now this is what we are going to do, or we are going to, we are desirous of having an easement through your land to such and such a place. For example, it could be a hospital.
Okay.
It could be a village well, community well, and you feel you need to access it. So the people who are concerned are going to sit down and initiate discussions with the
owner of the land.
Very good.
Please.
Yes. Then thereafter, of course, they will all have to sign. And just like if there are only individuals, then the two individuals must sign on the what? Must sign that agreement. You understand? If it involves an individual and maybe the community, that means the community will have to get representatives, because you cannot have everybody sign on the document. You understand?
Oh yes, I get you.
So when they all come up and sign with that sign on that agreement, then you get all the other relevant documents. So you could maybe require to show proof of the land ownership, and then maybe
very simple to create an easement.
It is as simple as taking water.
Why do you think our people are still fighting over these simple issues in our communities?
You see, even the Bible talks about ignorance. The Bible tells us that my people have an interest that you must explore or you must benefit from. Then definitely you are going to do what? You're going to suffer. Just love, but they don't know that there are some rights that are not yet utilized. You understand? So because you do not have the knowledge of something, you are going to lose out on some of the interest or rights, and I think it is a good initiative. The community, the people of Masindi, are no longer green like they used to be.
Not only Masindi, but the whole entire country.
You see,
people in the diaspora.
Actually, I just checked that we are actually international. You understand?
Yeah.
And everybody is even viewing us, even online, and because YouTube is some international forum.
Platform, yes.
So if you know about something, then you're going to benefit. You understand?
Yes.
So our people are perishing. Our people are struggling, fighting, pulling ropes here and there just because they have not learned. They have not known what they are supposed to benefit from.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And now, actually, I would like to implore to all my fellow people, my fellow lawyers, Ugandans, the learned friends. If you can go to if you just can go to these people down, just go there, give them and do pro bono services, just teach them what they need to understand, because there are basics. You see, for us, when you are learned or when you have knowledge about something, you think it is easy. You even take it for granted. So you will come. So just like when you told me we are going to discuss easements, and my mind is like, okay, now easements. You see?
What are easements now?
So I'm like, okay, now easements. Okay, I know easements. And I know it very well. And then I'm wondering, who does not know about easements? Not even in Uganda alone. Okay, we may say Uganda is one of the most poorest countries. And then maybe the countries that are more indigenous, that maybe are not not well versed with current affairs and what have you. But the thing is, people don't know. Even the people we think they know, they don't know these things. So
now,
let's go down to the
roots
community,
and teach people.
Tell these people what they need to know. And actually, we'll just erase. They will not have any more fights.
Oh, yes. And Madam Prudence, I want to, our viewers, please kindly prepare your question.
Yeah.
If we're in the area you have not understood, we shall be able to answer you.
They can actually keep sending them.
You keep sending your questions. So when time is coming, when we shall give a time, specify a time for Q&A, and I believe we shall satisfy you, and you will know what you didn't know, or you add on what you knew. Madam Prudence, is there a procedure legally for one to register an easement?
Yes, actually, that is what I had started on. And of course, now, being that we are dealing with land, then you have to go. The time you said land is not vegetables. Land is not vegetables, no.
That
land is something that is valuable.
Yes.
That anybody that wants to buy land must take precaution before they buy. Even before you pay, you must first know what you are paying for.
Okay.
You see how you'll go to Mama Joshua's mudala in the market, and then you tell her, Mama Joshua, I want tomatoes for 1,000. And then Mama Joshua will say, okay, let me give you tomatoes. And then Mama Joshua will just, measure for you tomatoes and give you. You go. And then you go to another person. You say, hey, Mama Kaba, give me matoke. They give you matoke. No, when you are buying land, you must first find out what exactly are you buying? Okay. Who is the owner of this land? Okay, what else do I need to know? So, being that we are dealing with land, and land is a very sensitive issue.
Oh, yes, here in Uganda.
Yes, land is a very sensitive issue because it is a valuable thing. So you have to take precautions.
It's a black treasure.
Very good. Yeah. It is governed under the RTA. Yes, the RTA, what we call the Registration of Titles Act, and then the Land Act actually itself. You understand? Because it is even it is a constitutional right to own land. Yes, to own property. That is Article, is it 26?
Yeah.
Yes, to own property. Yeah? That means if it is my right to own property, then you don't have a right to just come and start using my property. You understand?
So, what is that? What do I have to do to register my easement and have it legally attainable?
That is why I told you. Actually, let's first run through the RTA. Section 60 of the RTA. Let us just run through for purposes of everybody understanding what we need, what we are talking about. I am sure you don't have the act.
So we have got the leverage of us reading for you the RTA. That's the Registration of Titles Act.
Yes.
Section 60.
Yes.
If you have one, you can download. If you don't have, you can download it online.
No, if they have one, they can read for us.
But if you don't have, you can go on Yuli and download, and all these laws are there for you to access.
So kindly just read for us. Just read for
section
us
60,
section 60.
And it only have one section. Section 60 states that wherever any certificate of title or any duplicate registered or issued under any of the provisions or otherwise under the operation of this act contains any statement to the effect that the person named in the certificate is entitled to any easement specified in the certificate, the statement shall be received in all courts as a conclusive evidence that he or she...
60 of the Registration of Titles Act, just like I was telling you, what first thing we need to get is the agreement between these parties, yes? And when we get the agreement, now we submit, the submission of these documents, we are submitting to the land, to the land commission. That is the lands, isn't it? And I'm sure all districts have the lands. The land office, you understand? Yeah, so you submit these documents to land office with all proof that actually there is this land existing. Not to forget that you also must have engaged a surveyor, yes, to survey this land and give us a surveyor's report. That is also going to be submitted to the registrar of lands. You understand? And then this, of course, goes with whatever IDs, in case there are any IDs. And then these documents must be verified to confirm that actually, if you have submitted the land title, is it valid? Is it authentic? You understand? Oh, yes. So because we are, like we told you, that land is valuable, it has very many issues. You understand? Very many people are going to come and defraud you of your land. Many people are getting fake titles. You understand? Oh, so yes. To avoid all these issues of, you see, now I have a title that is not, by the way, to remind you, if you have your title or you have a title that you are querying about, you can check its authenticity and find out who the owner of this land is. You just go online. It is as simple as typing it in your own smartphone and you'll get these details.
So long as you have some money or mobile money to pay for such fee.
Not really. Of course, it is small money. Very small money. Around 10,000. Even if it is 100,000, are you going to buy land for 100,000? You're not. So whatever money it is, but of course it is not much money. But you can verify the title that you have to confirm if it is really an authentic one. So that is why when you submit all these documents, we need to find out, okay, is this document authentic? Okay, you have submitted that you are the owner of this land. Are you? You understand? So after authentication and everything has been verified, that is enough to create of that easement. And maybe to remind you, it will also reflect on your title that actually an easement was created on this piece of land.
Okay.
Yes.
So that whoever is going to use that land or to buy it in the future will know that as long as you are buying this land has an access, a legal access. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, my one last question to you. Supposing the person you want to create an access or an easement refuses. Now, Mr. Elkem want to access land, but the owner of the land is so stubborn. Yagamba, he cannot allow any Mugwira to use his land to pass through his land. True. He's fearing Marogo. So, as me as an individual who feel that this access is vital, either for transportation of my goods or for access of road, or something very important, because we know an easement, it must be a necessity, right? True. So, supposing that person has refused, what legal way or steps should I do?
This person can file a suit. You can, of course, just like any other lawsuit or any other issue that you're having in, between parties, you could maybe start with you can start with maybe talking about it at community level, because that is what we usually see people doing at community level. You know, maybe you talk to the LC, you explain to them what is not happening. You see this person, I have this land and they are not letting me use the land. You understand?
Yes,
and you see if you can actually settle it amicably. And if they refuse, and I think that is your major
my major point.
Yes, that is your point. Then this person, you can take them to court.
So what are those steps do I believe to
no, simply like how you institute a suit, you just, you know, of course, so you must make sure, just like I told you, you must make sure there is a need. You understand? And that it is necessary for you to have an easement through someone's land. There must be no other alternative. You understand?
Oh, yes.
Or that the other alternative is not practical. You understand? So if there is another alternative, that is one thing, then you may not even succeed. And secondly, if the other alternative is possible or practically, you know, possible, then that means you may not benefit from, you know, from this lawsuit. So you must first of all, you must make sure you have no other alternative, and that the other alternative that could maybe be existing is not practical.
That means you have exhausted all the...
Very good. And you have also tried all possible means. You have talked to this person,
and has failed to
and they
comply.
have refused. And you must also be ready to foot all the expenses, or what we call costs. But of course, sometimes we don't want to use the legal terminologies, because our people down there may not understand it. But the issue is you must be ready to foot all the expenses as an individual, because it is you that wants to benefit from this.
It's you who want to exercise your rights.
Very good.
Okay. So, my dear, this brings me to a point to know that a right is expensive, a right is earned. My dear brothers and sisters, wherever you're outside there, there's no right that comes on a silver plate.
I know.
You must either pay for your right, or you must fight for your right. And when I talk about fighting in a very proper way.
When you talk about fighting, someone may think it is giving another one blows.
No,
I find you see you're in your land, and then I tell you, Brian, you refuse to give me an easement.
Supposing. Now, this is something I'm looking at a layman who doesn't want to go to court. But he feels, however, this person has refused. My opinion. You can persuade that person, the owner of the land, to buy off your right.
True.
Brothers and sisters, wherever you are, try to persuade. I was in Kampala, and somebody wanted to use a road, but the road was a parking yard of somebody. So Lina Mugamba, you know what? You want to use my parking yard, but the moment you create a road, I'm not having my parking yard here. So buy off my portion, and I go, and for you remain with your way. So if you have enough money, and somebody has established you and you want to go to court, please, you can either go to court, and court will allow you to get access by force or by legal means. You get it? Or you can buy off your right by telling this person, let me buy off the part I want to use to access.
Yes, that is why I was telling you that for you now to run to court, it means you have exhausted all other remedies. You have offered to this person that actually you can buy off their land. You understand?
Yes.
You can buy off their land such that you don't have to, keep struggling.
Okay.
Keep struggling to access
your own place.
Very good.
Now, members, viewers, wherever you are in Uganda, in diaspora, we are so grateful for your time that you really schedule off on your busy schedules and ensure that you get to view Elkem TV. Elkem TV has a lot of things that are in store for you. This year, 2025, expect a lot. Expect to get more topics on what law. Next week, we shall also be here on the same time on Monday from 4 to 5. And we are going to keep hosting very many lawyers. One day, I believe, shall host the Minister Sam Mayanja. I know where Sam Mayanja you are, Senior Counsel. I salute you, and I know one day we shall host you here on Elkem TV. I know you personally, but we shall get in touch, and we see how we can make it. Because people in Uganda want to be taught. And one time, Honorable Mayanja told me his major is to teach Ugandans on how they can keep away from fighting and courts on issues of land.
And this is a platform, actually.
And this is a very good platform these people can learn.
True.
And I believe by God's grace, we shall be in the future having a TV that goes on air through DSTV and other medias. Dear viewers, this is the time, this is the moment. We are saving these few minutes or 3 or 4 to ask you wherever you are. If you have a question, this is your time, Q&A. If there are any question that's running behind, let us know so that we'll be able to answer this question before we leave. Our time is really running out, but we are so happy, we are so blessed. Me together today, I'm with my dear sister. I call her my senior counsel because she was by before me. Senior counsel, Prudence Lukaya. Is it Lukaya?
My name is Prudence Lukoye.
Lukoye.
Yes.
Munasonywa. Ngezako kuliga.
The issues are going to come for you, and I just don't know what you're going to tell them.
They will not circumcise me, I'm done.
Have you circumcised again?
I'm circumcised by the blood of Jesus again. I'm not going for the second one. So, what I'm telling you, viewers, next week we are going to have a very hot topic. I wanted us to talk about condominium, because condominium looks to be a very important and very new thing to the people
community. Don't know it actually.
People don't know
they
it.
Don't even know about
and it's a very good commercial business.
Very good investment.
You must give me an highlight for next week about condominium.
When we talk about condominium property, I will give you an example. We are having a building, you understand?
Okay.
And at Azinduka, you are owning only the first room. That is what you are owning.
Dear viewers, we are going to get back. We are going for a commercial break. Please stay tuned. And when you come back, this same story, we are going to continue with it. Shalom. Yes, we'll be back from the commercial break. This is Elkem TV once again on the program What Law. Today we have been discussing, and we are still discussing, about easements on land.
Sure.
Very many points that we have given to you, starting from right of the definition of what is created,
True.
and also how you can effect your easement, your right of access through court in case you try it in a mediation and it fails. Okay. So all those means, if you're the person whom you want, the dominant, when he refuses or she refuses, and the mediation, the eldest one has failed, the career committee to handle that in a mediation, then you can come to court. You can seek any lawyer, you can seek me, you can find me, you can look for me, you can look for Prudence or anywhere.
You'll find me at Azinduka seated there waiting
for you. So that we institute a civil suit against that person.
True.
And that person will be served, come to court and give him reason. If his reason is not giving court a reason why they should deny this person access, then the court will go ahead and grant an order for an access of
against
road
them,
against you, the owner of the land. And we will go ahead the same order to if the land is titled, to order the register of titles to register an easement on your same land and must reflect on the title. So munange,
and apart from just reflecting on the title, you must have a certificate
of title
that shows that actually you have registered an easement on this land. And maybe not to forget, in case the conditions require that maybe the certificate be renewed maybe annually or after a particular period of time, then you must also heed to that. Okay. Where there is no requirement for renewal, then after getting the certificate, all you have to do is to notify the parties. There is something important that I wanted to let you know, our viewers, that when we talk about easements, sometimes I will give this example because it is what I was given when they were teaching us, you know. They gave us an example of the community well, you see, where you need to access the community well, but through someone else's land. So now this is one of the examples where an easement will work, and it will involve an individual vis-a-vis the community agreeing to create an easement for the community to access whatever facility it is. Could be, maybe it is not a community well, it could be a health facility, it could be,
or
you know,
anything
you know, anything public. You understand?
Ground, by the way.
Very good. Or it could be a sports ground
or a church,
whatever it
mosque,
is. You understand? However, where the service ceases to exist, then we can say the easement expires. So where it was a community well and this well no longer supplies or no longer exists, or it has been shifted, that means it will be expired.
Okay. Where
there was no alternative, but then there are now many other alternatives that have been created, maybe because of the well. Now we have maybe many boreholes,
or maybe taps.
Or taps that have been, you see, you understand, have been maybe installed. That means that the purpose, that, you know, the importance, the necessity has reduced, and therefore the owner of the land can reclaim their land and still use it fully. So
if it's titled, you can go to the register of titles and apply to remove that access.
Yeah, you don't have to be hesitant. Omanyi omuntu gwe bayamba olumu twerabira nti batuyambyeko, abaavu olumu twerabira nti bakoze eki batuyambyeko, n'oyagala ate okusigala nga gwe munene. You understand?
I get you.
So where the necessity no longer exists, please freely give in the land, and where you can
surrender.
Very good.
Actually, the principle of surrender comes in.
Very good. Now that is one of the ways of terminating the easement. You understand?
There's surrender, there's expiration.
You can agree to buy off the person. You understand? You can go to court. But why do you run to court for simple things like that when we have told you what you're supposed to do? We have told you what you're supposed to do. Just go to the owner of the land, tell them, Council Prudence told me I have a right, I have an interest, that it is only you that is going to help me. So please, help me, let me access my land through your land. If it is money, let us agree we have some small money. Everybody.
Or you contribute as a community.
Very good. The community can contribute.
If they are all using the same road.
If you are using it alone,
you go for alone the cost.
You understand. So and people landowners should stop this habit of, I have sold you land, but how you'll access it, I don't care. Now, why have you sold me land without an easement?
Imagine you have sold the land for sugar cane.
You have sold me land for sugar cane. You know that Chinyara is going to cut the sugar cane. Or Victoria Sugar. Victoria Sugar has to come and cut my sugar cane and take it to Luwero. Yes. And take it to Luwero. How are they going to transfer it to Luwero? Maybe me, I can maneuver. Oh, you expect me to carry my sugar cane on the head and take it to Luwero for the suppliers to take it? So we need to be reasonable. Actually, all these things just rotate around us being reasonable. You understand? Us putting ourselves in the shoes of the person that you know that we are dealing with, and that on a normal day, you see, for us Christians, in most cases they keep asking you, what would Jesus do? You understand? So you also put yourself in that situation and you're like, Jesus. Okay, Christian, for your neighbor.
And then I think this comes to, we're going to election time. And some other places, they even shed blood.
True.
This will sound a warning to whoever wants to use it as a political gap. Anything pertaining accessibility and permission, talk to each other.
True.
You don't need a pastor. You don't need a politician.
You don't need a honorable to come.
If they fail, can you bring a mediator? You get me?
No, someone can even say, you vote me into power. When you vote me, I am going to make for you an access route. But they are going to make for us an easement when we vote them into power. What were you waiting for before we vote you into power?
First do the easement.
Very good. Let your actions speak before you give us. Words, very good. First act for us to know that, okay, now that they have created for us an easement, then when we vote you, we can even get money.
Many easements.
You understand? So let nobody deceive you, just like the moderator has told us. Let nobody deceive you.
Oh, yes.
Nobody should deceive you. All you need to know is you have a right, because this is an interest in land that you have to explore. You understand? Yes. And just like we have told you, because it is your right, if this person refuses and yet it is really, really necessary that they create this easement for you, then you can even come to court. Yeah, you go to court. You find any lawyer to help you with the drafting of the documents, you know, things like that, and then...
Are you a representative to court?
No. I am not representing court, but I am a lawyer.
No, you're going to represent the person who has come to you.
Why not?
You pay costs.
For us, we are lawyers, we do everything. You have to pay money, and we do for you what you cannot do for yourself.
Thank you very much, Elkem board members, for allowing and giving this an extra exclusive program to our viewers to learn for free. Honestly speaking, if they had invited me to a place, I would have asked for my allowances.
Sure.
But here with Elkem TV services, they are here to serve the community and the interests of the community. That's why we are here, but once again, to thank the Elkem TV staffs, directors, all the members who have allowed this to happen. Our people really need to know many things about the law.
True.
We are so happy. My name is Ahomuza Emmanuel. I actually am associated with the Kira Legal Consultants in Kampala. You can access me in Masini Town for my contacts. So we deal in many things. I deal in real estate. I also deal in criminal law. This is most of my specification. So we are so happy. We are so delighted. Next week we are going to be here. We are going to discuss on a topic called condominium. It is a very unique component.
And I am going to give you a corridor out of my flat.
Okay.
And you also own. I even give you a title.
Exactly.
You have a corridor only,
and
you have a title for the corridor.
Yes.
And then someone else has a title for another piece of land, for another part. You could even have the bathroom. My friend here, I am going to give him the bathroom. You have the title for the bathroom. You will have the title for the corridor. And I will have the title for the remaining part of the flat. Yes, but that is what you talk about. But everybody must have control.
Yes, next week, keep tuned. On Monday from 4 to 5, we are going to have that very interesting, very interjecting component of land. This is a business transaction commercially in land, but few people know about it. So we want you to learn about it so that you also invest into condominium property. In here in Uganda, there are very few. In Kampala, you can just count them. In Masini, I don't think we have any.
We don't.
Yet people haven't known about it. These are the very good business whereby you can create a business and give people titles, and at the end of the day, you're making money. And you can terminate at will the owner of the land. This is a good thing about this business. So keep tuned. May God bless you. Happy New Year once again until we meet again.
Yes.